Welcome. Hello, everybody. We are filming the third episode of the summer series of What the Hype. It is August 16th. We've got Evan here, the man in charge, as well as Adam, the one with all the answers. And I'm just going to be the
well, thanks, Jim. Adam's
away.
got a really good-looking shirt on this morning. We must have
I didn't get
had the same thought this morning. So, you guys, summer's really flown by. Here we are, as Jim mentioned, August 16th. It's been a busy year. It seems like it was June, and then it was the 4th, and now we're into August, back to school. So appreciate your guys' time sitting down with us today, and we're going to go through some golf operations, some golf course operations, some plans for the front entrance that we're real excited about, touch on some questions that some of our members were so kindly to ask on Facebook. So I'm going to turn over to Adam. Adam, I think we're probably 2/3 of the way through the golf season. Talk a little bit about the season thus far, major events, participation, new course rating. That's big news as of late. Maybe a little bit on the tee sheet, and I'll just turn it over to you.
Perfect. Yep, like you said, it is probably 2/3 of the year gone. We've done 2 out of our 3 major events, or maybe 4. We got Club Championship coming up this weekend. We got about 90 players in that. Just got doing whole locations about 15 minutes ago for that. So looking forward to a great weekend for Club Championship. Our men's invitational, full at 54 teams. Had a great 3 days for that. Absolutely perfect conditions. Jim had the golf course great. Dave Hove and Kyle Wywood came away the victors there with the green jackets. Very well earned during the shootout. And then, of course, we had our Chariot del Sol probably just a couple weeks ago. 76 ladies played in that. Great time was had by all. Perfect weather. Everything was great. Golf course was fantastic. Your champions there were Sherry Waljasper, her daughters Rachel and Sarah, and Trish Rubin. Played extremely well. So that was good. All of our events have been extremely well attended this year. The Memorial Day, we got over 100. July 4th, we had over 100. I'm expecting somewhere around 100 for Labor Day. Fun way to meet some new people, get randomly paired up by the golf shop. Great kind of different fun formats that aren't just serious golf. And then, of course, you got men's member coming up about a month. I think we're somewhere around 89, 90 teams for that, which is great to see.
New format this year, right?
Brand new format. Maybe might have a learning bump or two, but as long as the weather's perfect, it should be absolutely great. We changed it up so that way everybody has a chance to play and not just limited field. So that'll be fun to see how that shakes out and carry on the fun traditions we have with the member of the robes and the belts and see who can come out and top on that one. That should be exciting. So that'll be fun. And ladies member comes up next week as well. I think we got 50 ladies in that, which is
That's
absolutely
outstanding.
Fantastic. In those Monday events, we're starting to see upwards of 20 women get into those, which is fantastic. We want this to be a very fun, diverse, fun time for everybody to have out there.
Good.
Like Evan mentioned, we did just get our course re-rated thanks to Nate McCoy and the staff at the IGA for coming out and doing that. So you probably did see your handicaps change about 2 weeks ago, I think it was. They got updated, so everything's changed a little bit. The reason why we got the course re-rated was we added some more forward tees. We've added some bunkers. So the course has changed over the past couple of years. So it was time for us to get that done, and just about every course in the state of Iowa is going through that right now as well. So you will see a different handicap for you going on right now. We've gotten all that ironed out and adjusted, and everything should be all good on that.
So what goes into that, Adam? Like, how do they rate the course?
So rating the course is, it's a distance. How far it is from each tee box is the first thing they look at.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of hazards are there, out of bounds, bunkers, penalty areas. That will adjust the difficulty of the hole. So by adding forward tees and by adding bunkers, we did change the golf course and that kind of stuff. Another detail is the slope rating, and that's something they look at, and that's the difficulty from tee to green. And the course rating is the other thing that they adjust. I think the black tee got adjusted a little bit. Black tee got adjusted by 0.5. I think the greens changed a little bit, but the green gold combo and the white tees changed the most out of everything. Mm-hmm. And that's just due to us moving things forward on the tee boxes and whatnot there.
Good.
In the difficulty of the greens, because we all know Hyperion, the real challenge is
Right now they're very, very fast from what I hear.
they're zippy, as Jim called them this morning, as we were checking the pin locations.
Technical term.
Yeah. And as they get zippy, as Jim calls it, hole 7, hole 18, hole 13 can get a little more difficult to find pinnable locations. But to Jim's credit, the thing I like the most, and he kind of touched on a little bit this morning with me, is our greens tend to be consistent. You don't have to worry about one being super fast, one being super slow. They're all very, very similar until you get above the hole, and then good luck.
Good luck. Yep. Well, good.
But yep. So
Awesome.
August 16th, calendar year-wise, we've just crossed the 20,000 round mark. So you guys are using your golf course. You're taking advantage of it, which is great. It's what we want. Keeps me employed, keeps Jim employed, keeps Evan employed. So 20,000 rounds, that kind of puts us on pace about our average the last 4 or 5 years, which is about 29,000 rounds. I do think we'll get there. It'll be interesting to see if we can cross that 30,000 barrier. The one thing
I could go for some drier weather going forward. Man, we just have had so much rain that it's slowed us down a little bit.
Yeah, you don't want to talk to my ladies program. I think it has rained on 90% of every Tuesday.
Yes, it has.
We do apologize, ladies, not in our plans, but it has rained an awful lot, which is...
It's been a
you
crazy,
can't
crazy
control
year.
the weather.
What can the members look for in the golf shop this fall, with merchandise? I've seen a couple things, some outerwear layering pieces, but maybe just touch on that. I know you guys have done a great job this year with having a good variety of stuff for both men's and women's.
Yep,
I know
so
fall people like to get all their latest fall gear.
So we just the other day put out a bunch of new polos from Donald Ross, which is one of our staples in the shop. Johnny O will have some layering coming in here shortly. More exciting stuff that's coming is new to us. Is we got Smith and Quinn in the shop for ladies, which has done extremely well. And then we are going to bring in Spanx. Their butter soft layering pieces are really amazing. Very soft, very loungy.
For men and women, or
Women's only.
women's? Got it.
Very rainy
Darn.
day, kind of cuddle up in your stuff. So that'll be here, I believe, end of August. So take a number, call us, say, hey, I want to look at the box when it comes in first, get what you want. So. That'll be nice to have in there. And then, like I said, Johnny O is a staple.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very good-looking stuff from them coming, as always. So
Great.
You'll see a bunch of new stuff here shortly. Like Evan said, it's fall. It's going to get cooler. So you're going to see the polos stop and a lot of the long sleeve and warmer stuff come on in. And then hopefully no more rain gear. So
We've sold out all of our rain gear this year.
rain gear, good year for rain gear.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Adam. Jim, why don't I turn it over to you? We were just talking about the weather, and when I think of this year, the weather comes to mind, and specifically rain and a lot of challenges. So how has you and your team had to adjust with the unusual weather year this year?
Yeah, as we mentioned, it's been a very rainy year, and I don't remember having had this much rain, but still being able to kind of stay open most of the time and allow carts most of the time. Usually you get this much rain, it just inundates you all in 1 month, and it's just kind of unplayable. But I've never seen it to where we're in the middle of August and literally every inch of the place is lush and thick and healthy, especially that deep rough. Normally, we're accustomed to really scaling back the rough mowing because everything kind of gets burnt out in those non-irrigated areas. The irrigation system hasn't seen much use
Been
this
a light
year.
year with that.
Been very, very light. We are burning a lot of diesel fuel, mowing a lot of grass over and over and over. The course is holding up okay. It's tough to balance, the members' desire to go out and play golf and to have their golf carts, plus provide for, long-term turf health. And, we're starting to see the signs of just the amount of moisture that we've had. Some turf in some of the low-lying areas of the fairways is starting to check out. Just it's suffocated or drowned in water at times in places. But that's stuff that we'll regain with relative ease, a little bit of patience. So Yeah, it's been a challenge. It's hard to get projects done.
Well, yeah.
And,
I mean, you're just mowing all the time. How long?
Right.
What is the process for you and your staff to? You talk all the rain and all the growth with the grass to mow specifically the rough. How many acres of rough do we have? What kind of time does that take to get that done?
So we've got, my rule of thumb is roughly 30 acres of bent grass, which leaves us with roughly 70 acres of rough of various lengths. We've got so many different cuts of rough and everything. It takes us 2 days to get all the rough cut. And then we try to get that all done on Monday, Tuesday. And then we turn right around and start in on it again on Wednesday, finish it up Thursday. And then Friday we try to trim as much as we can because typically we get inundated with a lot of rounds on Fridays. But it's kind of, this year, been a never-ending cycle of fuel it up and send it back out.
You mow it, and then you turn around and you mow it again.
Turn around and start over has been the name of the game this year. So
yeah, well, you and your team, as well as Adam and his team, they've really done. Everybody's done a great job this year in providing that experience. Besides the weather, what other challenges have you faced on the golf course to maintain it in such a great condition?
Yeah, staffing, has been tough, but we're really fortunate with some veterans, and we have some, a little influx of some new guys that we're really, really glad to have. And they've come at a really good time for us. Some college students have gone back and that sort of thing. Other challenges this year, it's a good year for fungus, so we've had to stay ahead on all of those sprays. And the other thing is just, in this field, you have to kind of roll with what Mother Nature gives you. And, we'll get to the range, but trying to keep those projects moving forward, or at least get those started when you're waiting on Mother Nature to cooperate, it just requires patience, and sometimes it can be unnerving and make you want to pull your hair out, but at the end of the day, you just take each day as it comes and make the best out of the hand that you're dealt. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll transition to the front entrance. So as many of you know, we had to realign our front entrance, the road that pulls in and out of Hyperion, to align with 1900 Drive, which is the new road for Carmel Hyperion. So pulling the front entrance, for us, for me, Jim, Adam, the board, first impressions are everything. And this year has been a transitional year with Carmel Hyperion, but we have plans to renovate that front entrance here probably this fall. So we're currently receiving bids and designs. We have one, we're waiting on another from another contractor. But the goal is to just make that front entrance look as great as it can, level it down a little bit. I know some folks have mentioned when you pull out of here and you take a right, it's difficult to see who's coming down the road on Northwest Beaver. So make it more safe, as well as provide additional trees, more uplighting. That's another comment that we've heard. It's very dark when you're pulling out of here at night, or
especially in the winter months when it gets dark so early.
Yeah, so there'll be potentially some uplighting on all the trees, new signage. Try to mimic the sign across the street with our own little Hyperion twist. So again, we're receiving bids. We hope to have that in front of the board here at the end of this month, and look to complete this project probably October, November, if our timelines align with that. So again, looking forward to that. Really enhance the experience when you're driving in. Maybe bringing a guest. First impressions are everything, and that's something we really take into consideration all around the club, not just the front entrance. We want this place to look as good as it can. I feel like it looks great, and we want to continue that. So, okay, we put something on Facebook. I'm going to call it the mailbag, the Hyperion mailbag. So we wanted some questions from our membership on just general golf course operations. We're going to touch on the range, but first question. Adam already answers how many rounds of golf we've been played so far this year. We're just over 20,000. A bunch, as Jim would say. Adam, how many hole-in-ones have we had? How many hole-in-ones have you had this year?
This year, 0 for me. I'm not sure if I've played 5 rounds or not even this year. So we've had 6 hole-in-ones. First one was Dave Long, way back. I think it was around Memorial Day.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. I've been in a lot of places, but at Hyperion, the minute there's a hole-in-one, it's followed by like 3 or 4 more immediately after that in the 2-week span.
It's good for sports bar business.
And we've had 6. We haven't had one probably about a month and a half. So get on out here. We're due for another run of hole-in-ones. But yeah, so I've had 4 in my lifetime. I got 7 and 9 out here checked out. I just need to get one on 14 now.
It's 4 more than me.
So that's just all I need is to get 14, and I'll be finished here.
Oh, there you go.
So
Look at Adam, PGA Pro.
Pure luck. Pure luck.
Jim, another question. This is on our new short game area, which if you can kind of elaborate on that after the question. But when and will there be practice bunks added back to the practice facility?
Yeah, that's part of the plans for the new east end of the driving range. Probably seen in the newsletter and online various outlets that we've got a new design that's been approved by the committee and the board. A nice big green, a lot more bent grass for you to practice your shots off of. But it's going to include 2 bunkers. One's going to be kind of a dual-purpose shallow bunker that you could hit into the green, or you could hit out towards the range. It'd be kind of like a fairway bunker feel. And the other one will be a little bit deeper, more hollowed out, more of a greenside bunker feel. So those are included in the plan. We're really excited for that project to get going. The rough grading has been completed. The cooperation with Denton Homes was crucial to the earth moving. Thousands and thousands of tons of dirt were moved around in order to facilitate that project. An elder got that done last week, and now we're waiting on it to stop raining.
Be nice.
So that we can get over there and get to work on it. I'm hopeful that later today I can go over and start using the grid that our architect provided and start placing flags and providing that visual representation where the green's going to be and the bunker's going to be. But the extent of our work so far is finally today we were able to go and pick up rocks and sticks and roots. That's really all we've been able to get done. But I'm optimistic with some sun and some wind that we may be able to get into that project in earnest the early part of next week. So really excited for it. There will be bunkers, I promise. Might be a little while before we're ready to use them, but they'll be much, much nicer than we had before.
Great.
Rest assured.
Yeah, that short game area is going to be a fantastic addition to that range. It's
really will
just
be
going
nice.
to really elevate your practice experience. So really excited to get that going.
I think part of that project that they most recently completed the grading for is some additional mounds along the north side, which is going to kind of mimic what we've got going on the south. And it doesn't seem like much, but once that's grown in, it's pretty subtle, but it's really going to give the whole range, even from this end, a different feel and look.
Absolutely. What about the new putting green over there on the west side? How's that coming in?
It's coming in nicely. We've got a few areas that washed out on us just due to the torrential rains that we had shortly after we seeded it, and it's been a struggle to get grass up and germinated and growing in those areas during the height of summer. But we've got some plants up now in those areas, and again, we're talking about maybe 5% of the surface area or less. Once I get to a certain comfort level that we've got enough plants, in those areas, we'll start to lower the height. But every day you go over there and you got more density, like the little spaces and gaps are getting filled in. We're encouraged by how it's going.
Great. Really looks nice over there.
Yep.
Adam, another question. Will there be indoor hitting spaces available again this winter?
Yes, we will kind of repeat the last year's situation down in that cart barn. 2 hitting bays, one with the TrackMan, one with the Garmin. Hopefully we're open until December something this year, and then give us a week or 2 to get the carts reorganized and everything cleaned up, and then shortly after we close, we'll have those open and run those kind of just like we did this past year with tee times or hour blocks that you sign up for and all that. So that will be back.
Great. Those were very well received last year. Used more than I thought they would be used, and Sarah was able to keep her programming. I know you guys taught down there throughout the winter, so it's nice to have a space like that. The last question, this comes from one of our employees, Will Babcock. How's Will doing?
Mr. Babcock, Will is doing great. He's very, very busy. To his credit, he's been nominated for the Assistant of the Year in the Iowa PGA section. Charnay has been nominated for Merchandiser of the Year. And then, of course, Sarah Bidney's been nominated for about 3 or 4 different teaching awards in the Iowa section. So you have an amazing staff here at Hyperion. They do a lot of great things for us. So just go out of your way to give them a big thank you next time. And Mr. Babcock, Will is good. We're having a great time.
Will's on top of his game. All right, guys. Well, appreciate your guys' time today. This is our episode 3 of our summer series. We'll look to continue our podcasting on the golf course as we move into the fall, specifically on the short game area, as well as some additional smaller projects we hope to tackle on the golf course. So thanks, guys. Appreciate your time.